this video, I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how to make a custom tire for the custom wheel that you just designed. And when we're all done, hopefully we'll see something very similar to what you're looking at right now. So in order to get started, we actually need to go back to our wheel file and then go over to the browser. And we're going to be looking for the very first sketch that made the rim profile. And you may have to click the little expand symbol. And we're going to right click on sketch 1, and yours might be sketch 2 or 3, but whatever sketch it was that spun around and made that rim profile, that's what we want to right click on and copy. Let's go to a new file, standard IPT. Alright, once our new file is open, we're going to go over to the origin, and we're going to go down to the XY plane, right click and paste. And press home on the keyboard, and just click anywhere off in the center to deselect, and there should be our sketch from our wheel file. Then we're going to go in here and we're going to grab the fillet tool. Okay, sorry, I forgot one little step. We need to double click sketch 1, then go in here, use the fillet tool, 1/8 of an inch, and we are going to fillet these inside corners out to the safety ridge. And don't worry that trims up. We're not concerned about that here. We're worried about the tire that's going to be sitting from here and going up and around. So 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Then come over to the other side and do the same thing. And number 4. There we go. Finish sketch. F6 to go 3D. We're going to go back to the XY plane. Click on it one time. Start another sketch. F6 to be 3D here a little bit again. Now what's going on here is that we just put a sketch on top of a sketch. And we can still see our first one. A lot of people think that we're in sketch mode again and working on this, but we're not. We just started a new sketch on top of it. And we're going to project geometry. And we're going to just come across. And you just kind of have to remember where you're at because nothing changes on the screen as far as color. Here and through the safety ridge. I'm going to do the other side as well. There and possibly that. We're also going to project the 9-inch horizontal line, the 10-inch vertical center line, and the 12-inch horizontal rotation axis down there. And finish sketch. Go over to your browser, sketch 1, right click and shut off the visibility. It's a little hard to see, but there's some stuff going on there. We'll go to sketch 2 in the browser, right click, properties, and you can change your color. Green has worked well for a lot of people, and click OK, and then click off one time to deselect, and home on the keyboard zooms in to fit. And there you go. So we've got a good start now to our layout. We're referencing our rim profile to make sure our tire goes in correctly. So with that, the next step then is to go back into sketch 2. There we go. We're going to draw a rectangle. I'm just going to place it up here and above so that way I know it's the right size and I'm not accidentally constraining to anything below. And we want it to be 265 millimeters wide, tab, and this is going to be 265 millimeters times 0.4. Enter. And it's 0.4 because it's 40% of the height is 40% of the width. Right click OK, put a box around everything, make it construction mode, click off to deselect. We're going to constrain the bottom middle of this box to the center of our wheel. And this is going to be the box that contains our tire as we draw. Click OK, we're ready for the line tool. I'm going to zoom way in here, right above the fillet, and just start drawing a line that goes up, out along here. And now we want to go to the midpoint of our rectangle. You have to click to restart, go to the corner, click to restart, and go to the center. There we go, click to restart and just down a little ways here. We're actually going to only draw half of our tire. This will make things a lot easier down the road. Once you have that basic shape done, we're going to offset, bring it in 0.5, hit escape. What that does is that sets up our sidewall thickness. And I'm actually going to delete that and this line here. I'm going to draw a new line about here and over, escape, X to trim, escape, and dimension. And I'm hovering to wait because I want to make sure I select just the solid line, not the dotted line all the way across. We're going to make that 1 inch thick there. Okay, last piece. Down here we need to just do a spline tool, so underneath line, and I like the interpolation style. That means wherever you click, it passes through those points. And don't worry if you click somewhere and you're not liking it. Check mark that you want to create it. Now here, it doesn't look quite right, so let's do a tangent. Clean that up. Spline to line. Spline to line. Oop, there we go. And then if some things aren't quite right yet, you can still grab these dots and just move them around and get them just where you want them. There we go. Now notice I'm leaving a little tiny gap all the way through here, and that's okay, as long as it's a tiny gap. We don't want to cross the rim, and yet we don't want a huge gap either. And the last thing is we need to draw a little notch for a groove on our tire. And we're going to make that 3/8 wide by 3/8 deep. Finish sketch, F6, and revolve tool. There's our profile. Click the axis tool, and we're going to go around this line here and check mark. There is half a tire. Now it has hard edges and it's boxy in shape, but it's okay. Next, what we're going to do is use the fillet tool. And we're going to set this to 1.5. What we're going to do is we're going to get all the edges on the outside of the tire to be 1.5 fillet. Apply. And we're going to F4 and rotate in. And on the inside, we're going to set our fillet to 0.75 and do our inside edges with that. Apply. Cancel. So that just rounded out all of our edges coming through. See, the tires are rounded all the way down. You get some little lines here, but Remember, that's a spline that was looping around the bottom. You can see that little profile there. And now we're ready to mirror. So go up to the mirror tool, right up there. And it says, what are the features? This is one case where it might be easier to go use the browser. We say it's this revolution. Fillet 1, fillet 2. Remember, fillet 1 was a group of fillets and fillet 2 was a different group of fillets. And then we're going to go back to the window here, choose our mirror plane, and it's just this surface here. And hit OK. And there is your revolved tire, all nice and round with grooves. Fillets go on nice and easy. If you had some fillet issues, we may have to go back and take a look at some of the lines you drew, but 1.5 and 0.75 should work for most scenarios. Okay, last thing to do, put some tread on. So F6, just get myself back home. XY plane should be right down the middle, so I'm just going to highlight it, new sketch. F7 to slice it, and I'm going to just do a real generic example here to make it quick and easy. But basically, we're just going to create some kind of pattern, and hopefully it's a somewhat realistic pattern. Okay. So, if you're not really sure, Google tire treads, see what you come up with. But the main thing is here, you only have to make one of the pattern. So you're gonna do something kind of detailed and intricate. You could do, get carried away in a little spot, and we'll be able to pattern it here in just a minute. So you can have some kind of pattern here. Hopefully you'll do a little bit better job than I am at the moment. Again, this is very quick and basic to give you the idea. Finish sketch. And then we're going to extrude. And our profiles would be whatever that pattern is you made. We're going to go use between. And what it is, we're going to extrude from the bottom of the groove, and automatically switched, to the top of the tire. And make sure you set it to cut. And hit OK. And there's our tread. So it's kind of neat is that, I drew my pattern way off to the side because if you look and see, it kind of fades out in a way like it would on a real tire as it's wrapping out near the edge. So that sets up our tread pattern, or our tread shape, and then now I guess we would use the pattern tool, circular pattern. What's the feature? It's that tread, rotation axis. Just about any click on the tire should give you the center of the tire. And I'm going to guess with something like this, it's around 20. Okay, not enough. 25, nope. Let's go 35, that's better. Wow, that was way off of my first guess. And it'll vary depending on every scenario that you each pick. But go ahead and play around with it. Don't get carried away. Don't be doing thousands of anything because your computer will freeze and crash. So go ahead and get that going. Click OK. And there is our tire with tread. You like to click off. If you kind of want to see what it looks like in a different color, I have found that black cast works quite well for a tire color. If you have any questions, please ask. Good luck.